I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I think this, the Sun Mountain Matchplay, may be the most beautiful bag in golf. And what is even crazier to me is that you hardly ever see them out in the wild on the golf course. Today, we're gonna talk about what I like, what I don't, and if it is worth spending $425 to get this very beautiful golf bag. So if you're in the market for a new luxury carry bag, keep watching. Today's video is for you. These days, when most golfers think about a Sun Mountain golf bag, they think about a bag that's really functional, reasonably priced, good weatherproofing, but they don't necessarily think of it as a high-end luxury brand. The most current iteration of these bags are called the Eclipse series. These are the current versions of the bags most people associate with Sun Mountain. But when I personally think about Sun Mountain, I think about something a little bit different. Around 4 years ago, Sun Mountain went a completely different, more elevated direction when they rolled out the mid-stripe bag. While that bag was in production, it routinely got my pick as the most underrated golf bag on the market. It was modern yet vintage, it was functional, it looked good, and you didn't see very many of them out in the wild. So almost every time I use that bag, and to this day when I use that bag, I get people saying, "What is that? That looks so cool. Why haven't I seen one of these before?" And the answer is, that's a great question. I'm not sure why you haven't seen more of these bags because they are so good. Okay, the price point probably has something to do with it, but they're no more expensive than a Vessel golf bag, for instance. So about 2 years ago, Sun Mountain rolled out the replacement to the mid-stripe called the Matchplay. It has a little bit different aesthetics, a little bit different styling, but an equally as attractive golf bag. For reference, I've got like 30 different golf bags right now, and my wife is starting to play more golf. So I said, hey, take your pick. Any golf bag you want, you can have. Which one did she pick? She took the Sun Mountain Matchplay, which in this bright Kelly green looks absolutely fantastic. So over the last couple years since I initially did that Matchplay review, there have been some minor tweaks. We've seen some new updated Sun Mountain branding, but the biggest update in this line to date has just happened, and that has come with the release of the new Ballistic Matchplay. And that is the bag we are talking about today. This one, which I have in green. Green has kind of become my go-to color. I just recently reviewed the Vessel Player Carbon Air in green. I got the Vessel Lux Stand in green. I had the old Matchplay in green. And now we have the new Ballistic Matchplay in green. So let's talk about first impressions and what my experience has been like with this new bag. So coincidentally, when I took this out of the box, my wife happened to be standing there. And as soon as I took it out, she goes, "Oh, that's a really good looking bag." And so my response was naturally, "I'm not surprised you think that, considering you basically have the same bag." So she responds, "Huh, I have good taste," which inevitably she does. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a wonderful looking golf bag. The green on this is definitely a darker, more forest green than the Kelly green that I had on the original Matchplay, but layout wise, things are mostly the same here. Obviously, the biggest feature is the ballistic nylon that this thing is made out of. And this isn't just your like regular nylon. This is 1680D ballistic military strength seatbelt grade nylon. And when you think about the cost of this bag at $425, when you understand that this is the level of nylon it uses, you start to understand a little bit more about why the bag is priced the way it is. You might have seen my recent review where I talked about the different Club Glove travel bags that are out there. Well, their smaller travel bag that is a fit for stand bags costs $350. If you want the upgraded version of that has that 1680D ballistic nylon, it's an extra $200, $550 for that travel bag. So the material quality on these bags is both expensive and extremely high quality. And as soon as you pick up this bag, you see it, you feel it, and it's like, oh, this is different. I haven't experienced anything quite like this on a golf bag before. As far as size goes, it actually hits kind of an interesting sweet spot. So there are only 4 club dividers as opposed to 6 or 7, as you might see with some similar bags. So in that regard, it's more similar to the Vessel Lux Stand. But as far as storage goes, there's actually quite a bit more of it than there is in that bag, getting more up into the line of the Vessel Player series. So I'm going to be comparing to Vessel a lot because at this price point with this level of quality, I think that is kind of the biggest competitor here. But from a size perspective, this is definitely one that sits kind of in between the Lux models and the Player models from Vessel. But it's not just that ballistic nylon that makes this bag feel high-end, it's all of the other little touches as well. So you've got a genuine leather grab handle along the top that admittedly doesn't feel quite as good as the ones on the Vessel bags, but is much better than what you're going to find on just about any other golf bag out there. It's very soft, it's very grippy, feels very sturdy and secure, and that's typically how I grab a bag. It's just by picking this up here. So having that be such a nice touch point is a big win in my book. Another feature that I think is one of the absolute standouts with this bag is the quilted pattern on the hip pad. It just looks so good, so elevated, so luxurious. And this is one of the carryovers from the previous version of the Matchplay that I think just elevates this bag and is one of the things that just makes it look more striking than just about anything else out there. You have genuine leather zipper pulls, a nice velour lining on the straps. You also have a few different chrome rings that make it really easy to hang a GPS or a rangefinder or a towel or whatever you might want to use. There's also a little pencil holder, which is a nice touch, as well as one lined water bottle holder along the outside. And then as far as space and pockets go, there's actually quite a bit of it. You have a decent sized garment pouch that you'll have no trouble fitting a layer in. One nice little aesthetic touch is that there's a piece of leather that goes all the way along the zipper there. So it looks a little more elevated, but it also adds a little bit of extra protection in case you run into weather, so that if water's coming down, it's not necessarily going to seep right into the zipper. One thing to note though is that while this aesthetically looks great and it does provide a little bit of extra protection from the rain, when you're using it on a regular basis, it does sometimes get in the way a little bit. Really not a big deal at all, but I have found a couple times where I was going to open it and it's just like, oh, I'm at the wrong angle, kind of got to go around it. Really not that big of a deal, and I think the trade-offs are worth it, but it is something that I've noticed. Going with the kind of more traditional styling of this bag is you do not have taped zippers, so this will be a little bit less waterproof than you will find with some other bags. On the side, you have a nice velour-lined valuables pocket, and then along the front, you have a big catch-all ball pocket as well as a rangefinder pouch right above that. The catch-all pocket is huge, you can fit a ton of stuff in there, but also huge is the rangefinder pocket. It almost feels like it's a little too big. While I love the placing of it, this is my preferred placement of a rangefinder pouch on a golf bag, but you put it in and the rangefinder almost just kind of sinks all the way down. So I feel like they could have maybe adjusted this a little bit to have a slightly more snug fit, but overall in practice, it's not that big of a deal, and if you do use this for something other than a rangefinder, then it gives you plenty of space to do so. Finally, there's one other catch-all pocket along the side right next to the water bottle holder, so realistically for a carry bag, you should have plenty of space for anything you might want to bring with you. So this brings us to the question, well, how does it work? How does it perform and how does it feel to carry? Overall, it feels great. The padding on the straps is really robust and that velour lining just makes it that much softer on your shoulders and feels that much more elevated. I will say the double strap system itself isn't necessarily the absolute best I have used. It's not quite as easy to get that perfect balance as the Vessel equilibrium system, and some of the golf bags out there that are a little bit more technical definitely give you more room to dial in and just feel more natural to throw over your shoulder. That being said, once you do get the straps dialed in, it works great and I've had no problem carrying it for 18 holes. One thing that I will note that is also something I've experienced on the original Matchplay bag is sometimes when you are walking, those straps have a tendency to squeak. And I haven't really been able to pin down exactly what is causing it. It doesn't happen all the time, but maybe 10% of the time when I'm walking with the bag, I do notice that squeak. I'm sure that if I spent more time diagnosing the problem, I could probably fix it. But what I thought might have been an isolated incident just with my one other Matchplay bag, the fact that I've now experienced it a little bit with this bag as well makes me think that maybe it is a broader issue. One issue that I did run into on the previous Matchplay came down to the stands. When I would set the bag down and the legs would open up, sometimes they wouldn't open up all the way. I would have to give it like an extra little push in order to get the legs to extend all the way. So it's probably the most annoying thing I had with that other bag, because you would set it down and then realize, oh, like the legs aren't all the way out, so it's not quite as secure. And a couple times I actually had the bag fall over because of that. The good news is that with this current version of the bag, I have not experienced that at all. The legs have worked excellent. The base is excellent. So I've had no issues there. One thing that has honestly surprised me a little bit about this bag is that it actually isn't as heavy as I expected it to be. You look at this ballistic nylon, you look at this bag, and it looks like a pretty beefy bag, but it weighs in at only 5.4 pounds. I recently reviewed the Vessel Player Air Carbon, which comes in at 5.2 pounds, and that was designed to be one of the lightest bags that they could create. So the fact that this, with all of these beefy high-end materials, is only 0.2 pounds heavier and really doesn't feel any heavier than that bag is really impressive and kind of a testament to what Sun Mountain has built here. So now the question really comes down to, should you buy it? And the answer is, well, maybe. It really depends on what you are looking for. I think this is one of the absolute best looking golf bags out there. So if you want an absolutely stunning golf bag that you will rarely see out on the course, that has plenty of space and really high quality materials, then I think this is absolutely a bag to consider. That being said, there are some downsides here. You don't have those tape zippers, so it's not going to be as weatherproof as some of those other bags. The straps, while good and comfortable, they do sometimes squeak, and the system isn't quite as robust and polished as the dual strap systems from some other other brands. And then you can't ignore the fact that it costs $425. Like, that is a lot of money. This is a true premium luxury golf bag. And so you're paying for those really high-end materials and these gorgeous looks. Is it better than the Vessel golf bags I've reviewed? Not necessarily, but it's also kind of appealing to a totally different market. Vessel has a lot of great looking bags, but they all feel kind of decidedly modern. This, with its more traditional styling, with its ballistic nylon, this feels like a really elevated modern version of a more traditional golf bag. Honestly, if anything, I feel like this is a higher end, more refined version of like a Jones Trooper golf bag. So if you like that idea of traditional style, really high end build quality, and having that cool factor of having a bag that chances are no one else at the golf course on any given day is going to have, then I absolutely think this is one worth considering. But regardless, definitely go take a look at what Sun Mountain is doing lately. Honestly, they've kind of revamped their brand in a big way. They've changed their branding. They've rolled out some apparel items that are actually really good that have made its way into my wardrobe. And I'm just really excited about the direction this brand is heading. And I have a feeling that in the coming months and years, more and more people are going to start to take notice. With that, my name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here, Breaking 80. We're gonna talk about cool golf products and cool golf courses. If you got some value out of this, I would love it if you would hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. And if you have questions about this bag or how it compares to some of the others I've reviewed, feel free to drop a comment and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. If you're still not sure if this is the best bag for you, you can go check out my most recent list of all the best golf bags out there. I update this list every time there is something worth adding, so regardless of what you're in the market for, you will probably find it there. With that, I hope you have an excellent day, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.